welcome to our arts and crafts session, and today I am going to discuss quickly before I call the children in why art is so important in any curriculum. As you can see, this is part of our Remembrance Day study unit. So I have made notes because I didn't want to forget anything that may be important to mention. So you will see me checking them periodically. So the importance of art in any curriculum or education philosophy cannot be emphasised enough. Art and design fosters creativity, imagination and confidence. They get to learn in a hands-on fun manner through trial and error. Art is also easily transferable to any other subject or topic or unit study that you're doing. It also works as a standalone study unit by itself, obviously. However, the transferable skills that come with art, you can literally tie into any project at all. In early years, it helps with decision making, learning new techniques, as it involves all the senses. And it also encourages exploration and dexterity. Many educational psychologists have spoken out to state that for children between 3 and 8, it is the most important way to help them grow and develop. For Nimue, due to her age, and Anthony, due to his sen and dyspraxia, art is a fantastic way to develop their fine motor skills. When children enjoy regular art and crafts, you can easily use that to encourage other skills, their communication skills, by asking them questions such as, why did you choose that colour? Tell me what you have made. Can you describe it to me? And each time they describe their project, you can get them to elaborate a little bit more by asking other questions. So as they grow and develop, your questions will grow and develop too, in detail, and what detail it pulls out of them. And that is really, really great for creating reasoning skills, descriptive skills. So that ties in really, really well with subjects like your literacy, because you can bring that back to your English lessons too in that respect. Melissa Menzer, PhD, wrote the paper, The Arts in Early Childhood, Social and Emotional Benefits of Art Participation. She stated, as children become toddlers, they experience, to varying degrees, rapid development of communication skills, motor skills and perspective taking. So perspective taking is basically the ability to see situations from multiple points of view. So whether that's a personal situation, so personal relationships in life, friendships, or situations in adulthood that they have to work around, and seeing things from different perspectives in their working life could be useful depending on their job role. But art is a great way of nurturing and encouraging that skill to grow and develop. Role playing is also another important aspect that you can bring into your home education for younger children, because it also fosters reasoning and perspective taking too. Basic maths is also a natural part of arts and craft activities, because children get to explore and play with different shapes. They count, they sort out their supplies, they consider different sized materials, mediums, and problem solving's hugely involved in art, and working out what shape will fit where and where it won't. Another important aspect of art that tends to get really overlooked is creativity. We take it as standard that yes, art is creative. However, we don't fully seem to understand what creativity brings to our day-to-day lives and how we use it. So creativity is a huge aspect of self-expression and awareness, and it encourages your child to be confident in how they approach the world. It's a huge focus of home education to encourage that confidence and growth in our children, as I'm sure it is for most parents. So if you're interested in looking at ways that you can include more art-based learning into your home education journey, I highly recommend looking up the Montessori techniques. You don't have to follow the Montessori curriculum completely, but we do incorporate a lot of it into our home education because I find some of their techniques are really, really valuable and effective when it comes to long-term learning goals. In this unit study, I chose a craft that I downloaded off Twinkle. And again, we're not affiliated to Twinkle in any way, shape or form. And in this craft, the children are going to paint a sunset scene. And then they're going to cut out our shapes and they will be sticking them on. And this will bring not only the blitz to life, but the blackout as well for them. And we're following this craft. I will then introduce the children to the documentary that my nan did with Ricky Tomlinson on the blitz and what the blackouts were like as well. So it'll tie everything all together quite nicely for them. But for Nimue, this is a great way of teaching what it was like, because for children her age, bringing it into creative practical play reinforces the learning greatly. So we'll add the link to the Blitz documentary with Ricky Tomlinson in the description below if anybody's interested in watching my nan. So I'm going to call the children in and we're going to get cracking on our art for the day. We are doing a blitz art craft, and I thought it'd be really nice because we'll be able to tie it in to Nanny Lund's documentary in a bit when we watch that. Yeah? So the first step is to paint a bit of a sunset on your papers. Okay, so shall we roll your sleeves up?
Yeah. Can I do it first?
Yeah? Well, you're both going to be doing it, aren't you? Right there. You may be better with this brush now.
Okay.
Let me take these brushes out.
And
Do you know what a sunset looks like?
Yeah. Blue?
It can be, yeah. You can have blue in a sunset. Anthony, do you want that one?
Yeah. You
And
know
the paints
blue.
are here. Okay? So we have the paint.
You know the sunset is already.
So it's all nighttime sky. So you can do a bit of a sunset or you can do a normal nighttime sky. It's up to you what you do.
I want to do a normal nighttime sky.
Okay, princess, you can do that.
So like this. Because that's how normal.
And while you guys are doing that, Mummy will cut out the templates for you to save time. And it'll look like the blackouts. You know when the Germans were bombing us, every town and city and everything had to completely black out. So that meant no light at all the windows were blacked out, so any candlelight inside wouldn't show out.
Wow.
And so the bombers wouldn't be able to see where they were hitting with the bombs, because it'd just be completely dark down below. So that's what we're painting at the minute. And then we're going to watch Nanny Lund talk about it.
But look, we will see there what was happening.
Yeah, she was alive during that time.
Was she?
She was, yeah.
Was Nanny Wilcox alive then?
She was a very, very young child, Nanny Wilcox. Her older siblings were.
But she was a very young child when it happened.
Yeah. I mean, Nanny Lump was young when it happened too.
How's the sunset going?
That looks like a wonderful sunset.
Well, mine too.
Yeah, yours is brilliant.
I'm like doing it in text. Yeah. People need insects. Don't you know that? Don't you know that?
So what made you pick your colours, Nimue?
Just something on my mind.
Okay.
Because I want to do an insect all the time. So it has a flap like antlers. So I'm doing yellow, man.
Yes, you can choose your own colours.
Then I'm doing a wash it off. And then do yellow.
Well, no, you choose your own colours, princess.
I was just saying that because she said she wanted to do it like mine.
Oh, she said fabulous like
Oh.
yours.
Okay. Because I want to do the most winning real look like real thing.
You want it to look like a real night sky.
Yeah. So that's why I want to do a little one like antlers, but I'm like, yeah. The thing, isn't it, when there's too much of the paint, just blend it across the candle look.
Wow.
Because that's how you make it look real, isn't it?
It is.
By blending. Blend it in. I'm like doing that.
Blend,
But
blend.
Nimway's really good at painting now. So.
She is very good at painting.
Now
Can you recognise what that clock is, Anthony?
Oh, the painting.
Yeah, we learned about it during our gunpowder plot unit, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. I'm
The
like
Big Ben in London.
Big Ben. I should have said London. I don't know the name.
Alright. Big Ben, it's called.
Big Ben, Big Ben.
Big Ben.
Big Ben the clock. Yes, why name a clock? These are just a clock.
Well, we'll go into the history of Big Ben once we finish this unit if you want.
Fine. Or the nobles in the wheel won the war. Yeah, today is going to be the best day ever.
Yeah. Best day ever.
Yeah. Best day ever. Best day of all.
Every day is an adventure.
Yeah, every day is an adventure.
We are back. And these are all now dry, so we can get on with the next bit.
Yeah.
And we're going to be sticking our silhouettes on.
Can I go first?
Here's yours, Anthony. And you want your lights first. Right there. And it's the lights that we want to stick on first. So we've got these light strips to stick on. So do you want to get some glue on them, Nim?
Well, do you know what my idea is?
Okay, you do your own thing, and I'll help Anthony.
The light is going to sign up to the airplane flying, and then it's going to stop firing at the plane while it's bombing.
Okay.
But what, do you know the idea for this? Yeah, I was going to put it here so it looks like it's...
I suppose you could have it in the background if you wanted.
But then it looks like...
It looks like it's further away than the houses. Okay, that would work.
I'm going to do
But you will need some of these down here to do the right effect.
And then Big Ben would be here. And then a house would be next to Big Ben. Here.
I'll have that next to it. So you similar buildings in both in London. And then you could have like your little ones here.
And then when the airplane's flying, it will go like here. And then there's both torches shining on it.
Be careful. Yeah? So you have to like that, you know.
But
But
then
you could have the plane actually blocking out the rest of the tunnel so you don't bridge, so you don't see where that goes, sort of thing. Because this is going to be 3D as well. This comes off the page.
really?
Yeah.
And then this is the thing.
So do you want to stick all these on and then I'll help
And
you
then
with the
there'll be
plane?
a house like this, so it'll look like it's dark in the background.
Okay, if you want.
Help!
You don't have to use all of them.
I do.
I'll
I
just
want
touch that one off.
No,
Okay,
I want
you
to
do
put
what you
it
want to do
there,
then.
but then it'll look like it's getting darker than
Okay.
wouldn't it?
Is that your glue you knocked off before? Oh, it's looking awesome, Nimway.
I'm gonna put one down because you don't need to. I don't want to be done to.
You are a good girl. I want you to do what
So-
you want to do as well, then.
Ta-da!
Oh, that's looking brilliant, Nimway.
That's a window. Now I'm going to do a house right next to the window.
Okay.
See, Mummy to
You got big
some
ones here,
new
this one.
way. Yeah. I'll go with
Oh,
take Mummy to some that one right there, like a farm.
Okay.
That's a
Oh,
farm.
wrong end.
Yeah. I want to do the roof first.
Looking really good, that, aren't they?
Like Anthony's.
I got my two daughters signing down because signing up to the airplane. So because what I'm thinking of, the guns are attached to the light, so when you see them, they fire with the
Yeah.
light.
Okay.
And then everyone can. Oh, so yeah.
So where are you
Look
going
at
to
that
stick these
house.
houses?
Oh yeah, I love it. Won't they?
Mom,
Yeah.
if we're gonna add that one on, where do you reckon we should put it?
I'd put it behind. So if you're going to add it on, do it like that or something.
But where do you reckon we should add it?
Up to you.
No, you decide.
I don't know, because it kind of interferes with like the silhouette outline of the city there. Like that.
I know where we could put it. Back here.
Well, then that'll stop you from seeing that that's a bridge. You could cut it in half and have it one that way and one that way, so it looks like part of the bridge extended.
Mm.
What do you think?
You could then all
And
look
then you
like.
can extend the bridge going across then like a road. Yeah, look.
I'm going to do that house here.
So,
Oh.
continue like that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then you could,
One. Sorry.
And then we could kind of turn it like that so it looks like it's going into a tunnel.
yeah, so then you could have like a shorter one. And then have a longer one going up or something.
And then what we need to do is we need to
Or
add some white
have it
bits
like
there.
that so it's 2 bits, so it looks like more bars. Because this is going to be coming over it anyway, innit? So you just want it to look like something with the bridges continuing like a road. Well done! This is looking brilliant.
I did
Are you
it.
going to stick this house on?
It's going to do that way, and then it's going to
Well, should we build your one?
that way,
We'll
and
pass
then
your Spitfire. So
let me show
So,
them.
do you want to hold it? That's Nimway's blitz picture. Come over this way, show it.
Look at that.
Right, should we leave that to dry on the table?
This guy.
Right, so are you going to stick these ones on now?
Do you want to start folding that on camera?
You want me to start doing it to you? It's a bit of a cheat, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's fine, I done the rest.
And these are the other crafts that we did with them, again from Twinkle. It's just a wreath and you cut it all out into segments and then wrap it round. And this is our poppy wreath, and both children did one of them. That's really good, doesn't it? Do you want to hold it up and show everyone? Turn it round.
Oh.
Right, so leave this. So I'm just about to start cooking our Walton Pie from World War II. I've got this recipe from the World Carrot Museum, and that is www.carrotmuseum.com. So, Walton Pie was actually the creation of Francis Landry, and he was the chef of the Savoy Hotel, and was named after Lord Walton. He was the head of the Ministry of Food. Most people had their own variation of the recipe, family to family, but they almost always use carrots. Basically, it's several loads of different veg. It was just a way of using up any leftover veg you had as well, and making a meal go round the family. A thick sauce and a topping, that's it really, which could be pastry or mashed potatoes or even sliced potatoes and a gratin style type sauce. You could literally make it any way you wanted, really. So the pie was actually introduced in May 1941, and the reception it received initially wasn't very well. Pretty much like a lot of the Brexit recipes we've got going around now. It was the same sort of attitude and response towards the Walton Pie back then. Lord Walton was Britain's wartime Minister of Food for the earlier period of World War II, and he basically charmed the public into accepting Walton Pie and a national loaf called the Victory Loaf. So the pie was named after Frederick Marquis, Lord Walton, the ex-managing director of the store chain Lewis's, and many people in the north of England will be aware of the Lewis chain store and name. And he was appointed Minister of Food in April 1940. It wasn't a very glamorous position, but it was vital to the war effort. And it says much for Walton's charm that he was very popular with the public, even when singing the praises of rissoles without beef and sugarless cakes and tea without tea leaves. They still managed to keep up the morale and keep going, really. He was very, very good at marketing, so that obviously helped him in this role. And it was a publicity campaign introducing Dr. Carrot and Potato Pete. And they were led with broadcasts with Gert and Daisy. They were music hall artists. And it was put across the kitchen front, spots on the BBC radio, food flashes, which were short films in the cinema. And they had a massive advertising campaign to really get people to start to think about the food during the times of rationing and how they were putting meals together. So I have a copy of the original Lord Walton Pie recipe, and I will include a screenshot of that in a minute for you. And I'm just going to quickly make the pie while the children are in the living room watching Sergeant Stumpy, an American Hero, on Prime. So that'll keep them occupied by Mummy gets herself together and gets tea in the oven. See you shortly. So in our pie, we're obviously going to have carrots because that's the staple. And of course for a pound of everything really, but I kind of just go with the flow with this recipe. I've got my swede, cauliflower, parsnips, potatoes, and the potatoes are from the local farm. I've run out of all the other veg though, unfortunately, so we're just having to make do with what we have left. I've still got some stuff growing outside that I need to go and harvest in as well, but I was completely out of my root veg now, so next year I shall have to plant and grow more. Now I'm going to start chopping all this up and then I'll throw it in a pan to boil. It doesn't have to boil long because obviously it carries on cooking in the pie itself. And I'm just going to throw it all in a big stock pot for now. then I've decided to use the rolled oats. So now I'm just preparing our pastry, as you can see. I don't want it too thin, but we are living in ration times right now. So naturally I want my pastry to go as far as it can go. Let me see if I can get as creative as me nan. So I've got my 2 pans boiling away there. Water to cover the veg. And a little bit of rolled oats in each pan, as the recipe states. So, during the war, larger families like ours were unable to make enough pastry to do an entire casing, so they would usually just do it as a bit of a lid on top of a pot pie effect, really, to save on money and resources. So that's what we're going to do today. Just getting ready now to add the pie crust on. It does actually look very yummy. Hope the kids think the same. So this is now ready to go in, and the kids have decorated the top of it with poppies and 11, 11, 11. Think, Ant? Is it lovely? So you like Lord Walton Pie. Have you tried yours yet, Will?
No. It's just veg.
Healthy.
I know that's the issue.
Ooh, pansy.
I'm just staring at it, wondering if this is how I'm gonna die.
Don't know, ask him.
That's good.
Frederick James Marquis, the first Earl of Walton.
Is he gonna die?
This is his pie. We've robbed his pie, guys.
Is he gonna die eating it?
So, welcome to our Tales Through Time, and today I'm reading Where the Poppies Now Grow by Hilary Robinson and Martin Impey. And I absolutely love this book because not only are the illustrations beautiful, but it's quite simple and to the point. And children of all varying ages will enjoy this book too. So, this is the field where the poppies now grow. These are the children who like to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. This is Ben and his best friend Ray, who are 2 of the children that like to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. These are the trenches used for cover, to hide from the enemy and each other. Built by Ben and his best friend Ray, who are 2 of the children that like to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. This is a makeshift aerodrome with barricades of sand and stone that shield the trenches used for cover, to hide from the enemy and each other. Built by Ben and his best friend Ray, who are 2 of the children that like to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. These are the armies joined up by men like Ray and his old friend Ben, who marched by the makeshift aerodrome with barricades of sand and stone that shield the trenches used for cover to hide from the enemy and each other, built by Ben and his best friend Ray, who were two of the children that liked to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. This is the battlefield, barren and stark, a stage for war, dangerous and dark, to be charged by armies joined up by men, men like Ray and his old friend Ben, who marched by the makeshift aerodrome with barricades of sand and stone that shield the trenches used for cover to hide from the enemy and each other, built by Ben and his best friend Ray, who were two of the children that liked to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. This is the soldier, injured and hurt, left to die in the cold and dirt, out on the battlefield, barren and stark, that staged a war, dangerous and dark, charged on by armies joined up by men, men like Ray and his old friend Ben, who marched by the makeshift aerodrome with barricades of sand and stone that shield the trenches used for cover to hide from the enemy and each other, built by Ben and his best friend Ray, who were two of the children that liked to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. This is the soldier, bold and brave, who risked his life in order to save another soldier, injured and hurt, left to die in the cold and the dirt. Out on the battlefield, barren and stark, that staged a war, dangerous and dark, charged on by armies, joined up by men, men like Ray and his old friend Ben, who marched by the makeshift aerodrome with barricades of sand and stone that shield the trenches used for cover to hide from the enemy and each other, built by Ben and his best friend Ray, who were two of the children that liked to play out in the field where the poppies now grow. Ben was the soldier Ray found. Ben was the soldier Ray found, lying alone on the battleground. Ray was the soldier, bold and brave, who risked his life in order to save another soldier, injured and hurt, left to die in the cold and dirt. Out on the battlefield, barren and stark, that staged a war, dangerous and dark, charged on by armies, joined up by men, men like Ray and his old friend Ben, who marched by the makeshift aerodrome with barricades of sand and stone that shielded the trenches used for cover to hide from the enemy and each other, built by Ben and his best friend Ray, who were two of the children that liked to play out in the field where the poppies now grow.